I'm just here to let you know that you can rush a lot of things in your life, but one thing you cannot rush is divine timing. There are just some things that need God's handiwork, and there are just some places where only God can take you. In Proverbs 20 and 21, it lets us know that an inheritance gained hastily at the beginning will not be blessed at the end. A step deeper into that is Proverbs 20 and 24. It says, "A man's steps are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way?" This is just really screaming to us that it takes humility in our walk with the God. It takes humility in the confusion and being able to trust in his direction, right? We do not know where we're going, which is why we try to rush our process. A lot of times we get caught in the prematurity of rushing something that we don't understand, simply because we want to get nowhere fast. We think we want to go somewhere, but we don't even know what that somewhere is. We're trying to get to a destination that we don't even have the coordinates to, which leads us to rushing nowhere fast, rushing a process, rushing something we don't even fully understand ourselves, which is why even in the confusion, we must trust in his direction. For our steps are not our own, but of the Lord. Then it gets us to understand that God directs our paths, knowing that he is a good shepherd who deserves good sheep, knowing that he's a shepherd and we are the sheep, meaning we must follow his lead. We can't get so ahead of ourselves that we try to outrun God, because going any place that God isn't a gain, it's a gamble. Then we must understand this. We must trust in his sovereignty. It says, "How then can a man understand his own way?" We don't know where we're headed. We think we have a plan. We think we may even have a mere depiction of what it could be or what it could look like. But I think for the most of us, we can all agree that 5 years ago versus where we are now is not where we planned. For most of us, at least in our own timeline for what we decided and what we originally thought we should be at in this present point in life, we're not there. Why? Because it's not our own path. It's not our own way. How then, if our steps are not our own, but of the Lord, how then can a man understand his own way? Meaning, how then can a man be Lord of himself? How then can a man guide himself if our steps aren't even our own? Which is why we must surrender our own will and our own control over our own lives and give it to the one who directs our steps. We must trust in his sovereignty. We must allow God to direct our paths, and then be humble enough that even in the confusion, we trust in his direction. You see, when I say that there's some places that only God can take you, it's literally meaning, because it's literally saying this. It's really saying Proverbs 16 and 9. It says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." God has sovereignty over guiding and providing clarity for us to make a way when there isn't one. To make a way when there isn't one. When we have no actual sense of direction, he's the one who provides us. He is our GPS. He's guiding us along our journey. Problem is when you try to rush ahead. Problem is when you try to find a shortcut, and that's what the world tries to give us all the time. That if you can do this, because like I said before, the world is microwave. The world is microwave, and don't get me wrong, God is getting you there on the best. In the best timing, a timing befitting for the calling, a timing that is befitting such a time as this. So you must understand that even if it's not happening as fast as you wanted to, everything is being prepared for you, and even you for the moment. He is preparing you for just a moment such as this. So when it's time, you come into agreement. And whatever God is calling you to, you'll be prepared for that exact moment. You'll be prepared for the business. You'll be prepared for the relationship. You'll be prepared for the promotion. Whatever it is, you'll be prepared for the promise. Whatever God has promised you, whatever the vision entails, you'll be prepared for it. But you won't be if you try to rush the process. You won't be if you try to inherit it too early. For a blessing too soon isn't a blessing at all, and God wants to make sure you get everything that you've been asking for. Problem is, for some of us, we have not because we ask not. We've been trying to get somewhere, go somewhere fast, but we're not even asking God for direction. And I know that was for somebody. So you've been asking for the blessing, you've been asking for the outcome, but you haven't been asking for the input. God, what should I be putting in so I can get what I want out of it? God, who must I be stewarding? What should I be placing in? Who must I serve in this season so I can get the harvest I've been asking for? It's not always you just trying to get in the end result is what you should be asking for, but rather, God, what is the direction so I can get to the destination? God, where are you leading me so I can prepare my heart, mind, and soul? So when the moment for me to leave has come, I know that this is where you're calling me. I know that it's not just my own thoughts confusing me. I know it's not just the enemy saying, go here when you're telling me to go there. I know it's coming from you because you have already predestined it. You have already told me in advance where I should be going. You've already told me to just follow your lead, so here I go. You can rush a lot of things in your life, but one thing you cannot rush is divine timing. Because the Lord is not in a rush. You are. And the more you're in a rush, the more you cause more confusion, the more anxiety, the more stress. Because you're trying to rush something that you don't even quite understand yourself. Which is why the Lord tells us here, or rather Solomon is telling us, a man's steps are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? How can you know where to go if you're not getting directions from the one above? See, it takes acknowledgement before a plan can be set. It takes direction. There has to be some direction to go forth. But you're lacking the direction because you're just trying to rush nowhere fast. If anything, slow down. Slow down. More to in slowing down is more to say, stop rushing, because he's not in a rush. Meaning, if God isn't in a rush, it just means that he's already on time. You're already on time. There's not a past self to overcome nor a future self to achieve. There's the validation right there. Meaning, stop trying to be Lord of your own life. Just submit to his sovereignty. Because he has a plan for you that's going to lead you and guide you to all the places and spaces that you're meant to be. All the places and spaces that are befitting one such as yourself. That when he opens up those places and spaces and he gets you into those rooms, you will be prepared for such a time as that. You'll be prepared for it. You'll be prepared for it. Sometimes it takes sitting in a seat before you can get on stage. Sometimes it takes being a follower before you can be a leader. Sometimes it takes being a consumer of such before you can be a consumer of such before you can be a producer of many. It just takes it. You got to be a student before you can be the master. It just takes time. You can't rush it. You can't rush it. And if you can't rush it, and you definitely can't rush him, it's better for you. And truthfully, I say this because it will reduce so much more calamity if instead of rushing, you just seek wisdom. I don't have to rush into failure if I just am able to receive wisdom from others who have already gone through the thing. Instead of trying to rush into different experiences, just go talk to those who have already experienced it. Just go talk to those who have already experienced such a thing. If you want to excel in more things, go talk to those who excel. Rather than you rushing the process, seek more wisdom. Because then it reduces the amount of calamity and reduces the time that it takes to gain the knowledge. Because once you get the wisdom, great, but now apply it. And that, in the application of the knowledge that you have just obtained, that's how it becomes wisdom. Once you apply the knowledge to life, if you're going to rush, if you're going to not even rush, but if you're going to do something fast, do that. Be fast to apply what you have learned. Many of us have gained so much knowledge. You've taken everything. This is why it says in James, I'm flipping. Give me a sec. Get into it. I promise you I won't be with you. I promise you I won't hold you long. I'm already out. But it says here, if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. If you're lacking the direction, ask God for the wisdom. I'm done. I pray that this was a blessing to you. If you made it to the end of this video, awesome. Hopefully you liked it. And if you didn't, it's okay, because I did. I enjoyed every second toward every minute of it. And I pray that it just, as the messenger, I pray that it just gets delivered to those who need it. And I feel like you're the one who did. Do me one favor. I don't ask for this much, but do me one favor. I want to start doing like a roll call, right? And your roll call button is really just a like button. Just hit the like button so I know that you were here today, knowing that you're showing up with me. Not for really a vanity or a metric sake, because I'm making these videos regardless, because that's the calling. And when you have the calling, God provides the clarity. So I'm not confused. But rather, do it for yourself. Let what you're participating in right now be something that you stay consistent with. Or at least, even if it's not this that you're consistent with, let it drive force to something that you begin to be consistent with. And then show up for it every single day. If you're not going to show up with me every single day, that's fine. That's fine. But show up for yourself. And hey, if not today, then I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.